Hello and welcome to another live Future Auto Solutions. Here at Future Auto Solutions, we want to elevate the car buying experience for customers and dealerships. So here today, I'm here with my co-founder Gordon Todd. He's also my brother. How you doing, Gordy? How's your
Um,
Sunday?
yeah, it's going good. Have my coffee. I'm feeling good.
Nice, nice,
Ready to go.
nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice. And as we touch on this, obviously we want to go sort of get into how to sell cars on Facebook, but obviously we'd be remiss if we didn't sort of talk about the situation that you're seeing in the UK, situation that I'm seeing in the US. So, what do you think is what's the update you want to give on the UK situation for car dealerships?
yeah. A bit of a false start there, actually. We sort of thought Northern Ireland was going to get back onto a wee bit of normality this week. That sort of didn't transpire. Same as before. Although I did notice a wee bit more activity on Facebook and at a wee bit more face-to-face appointments, the view cars than had been in the previous. Not to where it was or what it will be again, but just a wee bit more activity. Hopefully, in next coming sort of next week and the week after, things will start to ease up a wee bit, and we'll be able to sort of get showroom traffic maybe back again. But
Yeah.
as far as where we're at the minute, it's much the same, much the same.
Yeah, and it's very much the same here. Dealerships are trying to open where they can, trying to set appointments ahead of time so that they can sort of
Yeah,
control the traffic flow, but also give their customers an opportunity to book ahead of time so that they feel comfortable and safe as well. I think it sounds like
absolutely.
it's pretty much the status quo. So today we want to talk about, how do you sell cars using Facebook, and it's something that I know you've done successfully the last few years. As a
Yeah,
solopreneur, so to speak, it's something that you've sort of developed, cultivated over a number of years, built up, 3,000 followers on your Facebook. You sell a lot of your cars this way, and we just really want to run through for the audience what are some of the ways that are things that you've utilized and what are the benefits of using something like Facebook as opposed to what
absolutely.
would be considered the traditional methods to sell
Yeah.
cars. So we want to sort of identify, five things, and those five things is, first of all, why Facebook, and then we're going to run into sort of the customers, how we reach customers
Oh,
in a different way, and how you can grow your business at pace,
apologize.
how you can grow your business, how you get customers for life, and then also how you can earn additional income right away. So it's really important.
Yeah.
So with that, so let's start. Why Facebook?
Suppose Facebook is a familiarity was the first thing that sort of struck me as something easy to use. It's something we use every day for our own. I use it for marketplace. I use it for connecting with friends, keeping in contact with people. And slowly but surely, I started to see a little bit more, not motor trade per se, but right across the board, businesses starting to use and connect with people. Um, when I sort of set out to sort of leave a dealership and go on my own, I wanted an area where it was a wee bit different to the norm of how people communicated and reached customers. I didn't have the financial backup and the forecourt and the showroom, so I needed to think of something different to sort of to reach my customer base. So Facebook fitted that sort of platform. It also, with the support of Facebook and how they and we'll go into a wee bit more how they let you market and pinpoint your area and your radius. It really fitted in well to what I was trying to achieve.
Yeah, and it's a really important point you make, right? It's the barrier entry, right? It really reduces, it almost levels the playing field, right? And what we're
Absolutely.
seeing across many industries actually is technology is helping smaller businesses compete with the larger ones, and also because the smaller businesses are more agile, they're able to sort of weave in and identify customers
Yeah.
sometimes more quickly than the larger because and I know we've talked about it previously. The difference between what you're doing on Facebook and what a traditional dealership is doing on Facebook is very,
Yeah.
very different. So we're going to
Very
get
different.
into that sort of. So how do you leverage to reach your customers at a different level than say a traditional dealership?
Yeah. I mean, whenever I was in the manufacturers and dealerships, I was a manager and finance manager in different aspects. So we used Facebook as a brand building and a sort of showing new models, showing, the facilities, showing events that we're running, maybe charity events, but it wasn't actually connecting with the customer of your product and what you're trying to sell and a deal. So I took the sort of the per se of creating a deal, an offer on the car, photographing the car, and starting to post with not the selling price but a monthly figure to see if I can connect with a whole new clientele or people who really don't understand how a price of a car translates to their monthly budget. And in turn, I was able then to boost and market age groups who this car would fit. It let me sort of look at insurance groupings and how that would fit into the people that I want to try and market. It let me market my area and control. So I wasn't someone who was miles away that couldn't come and see the car, but actually I was spending my money wisely that I was advertising on and actually really focusing in on, the area in which I'm sort of operating in. And then obviously what it does then too is it lets you communicate with the customer 24/7 without your opening hours and closing hours and, and trying to get back to customers and people not being able to take phone calls. And, it's less intrusive, but it is more intrusive if you think about it, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't want to give your phone number out, but we'll let you connect with them on Facebook, which lets you see everything about them. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But it just fits people's profile better and how they like to, because it's less and less, more people now are communicating via messenger rather than text message. So it's how things are changing. So I was able to find that whenever I did this with Facebook, it opened that wide open that you were able then to have a conversation at 11 o'clock at night with someone, or at 7 o'clock when they're having their breakfast. They want to have a conversation about a car with me, about making an appointment or about their finances. It's incredible, which was completely opened my mind, and I didn't see that coming. But I mean, it just made me completely accessible, and it means then that you get to actually engage with the customer when on their terms also, but where they're feeling comfortable, and you build that rapport there.
Yeah, and what I have to sort of think as well from a customer's perspective, there's nothing more intimidating than walking into a showroom and you kind of grunt your eyes because I want to buy a car. The most painful part of it is walking into a showroom and being lynched, right? Whether
Absolutely, yeah,
sitting at home, be it first thing in the morning, be it just after you've had tea and you're sort of forgetting about the workday, or it's at lunchtime and you've got this front of mind, you can just send a quick message, get this interactive back and forth, and it just helps
yeah,
the customer feel that actually they can ask probably a little more daring questions, challenge you
absolutely,
as
yeah,
a dealership a little bit more, but in essence it also
yeah,
gives you the freedom to communicate more clearly and sort of
yeah.
move a process along.
I mean, I mean, evenings when parents get their kids to bed and get everything all done, they make a cup of tea and then they sit down and actually engage with you, and it's them times you wouldn't be there. Normally you'd be away home to your own families and your own situation. So it's really actually the customer is in control of when they're ready. Okay, let's engage and look and see what we can do, So it's very powerful. It's good.
Yeah, and one of the other things you noted was the ability to grow your business at your own pace. So, what do you mean for that? You mean from a dealership's perspective? Do you mean from an individual or?
I'm actually when I was thinking about this and thinking down putting points, I meant that right across the board
Mhm.
because everybody's circumstance is completely different. From a guy like myself who didn't have an awful lot of equity to start the business and start things slowly, I could control how much I spent, see where my money was going, and grow it as slowly and they call it organically. Growing the business organically. But then also you've got the manufacturer, the dealerships with big marketing budgets who could really, with using their money and their power, maximize Facebook beyond where obviously I am at. But and our point and sort of future auto solutions is that we can help every actual segment. We can help the
Mhm.
startup, we can help the person who runs a family business, or we can help the dealership. Where, as you say, with our findings, they're not using Facebook in this format. They're using it as what I once knew it as a brand building and a informative. So
Mhm.
where I says you can grow at your own pace is not to be intimidated by it, because I started with very little and I built it over 3 years. It took me time. I didn't earn massive money to start, but I was working for myself and I was getting the rewards for myself. And I was just slowly building it. And right at this present moment in time in the climate, there might be a good lot of people just in the same position I was in, where they find themselves, okay, I have a choice here. Can I do this on my own? And, I would highly recommend that with a bit of focus and obviously a wee bit of training and help from ourselves, you could really make a good business for yourself to build
Yeah.
for the future.
Yeah, and we've both noticed that, whenever we go on LinkedIn, we do the searches, and as we prep for, these calls and we evaluate our different markets, right? We often see those folks who are having issues or have maybe been let go and are trying to figure out what is their next move. And,
Absolutely.
working with us, we can obviously help them build that business, or the idea of that business for themselves, with the point that you made, with very little capital investment. It's more of a
Yeah.
strategy than a capital investment thing. So it's a
Yeah.
really good thing. The other thing, the fourth thing you mentioned was customer for life. So
Absolutely.
what do you
Yeah.
mean by customer for life? Because I thought dealerships would have just had customer for life, because you go in, you sign up, they've got your email, and they've got you for life. Is that not
Yeah.
the case?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, where I mean is customer for life is when people actually engage with your Facebook and they follow you and you like your page, they have to make a fundamental decision to go back into find you and their friends, finding who they're following, unlike your page, and then leave you. So to me, without them knowing and without them being so really conscious of it, you're talking to them every time you post because it comes up in their feed and it comes up and they're interacting. So once you have a customer who comes in and likes your page, they've liked it because they've put a post on that's touched with somewhere in their mind, or someone they had in mind of, for someone else who's looking for a car, or but you've come in, they've liked your page, and then from that point on until they fundamentally go in and actually unlike your page and do all the other bits and bobs, you're going to have them to engage in every time you do something. Whenever someone buys off you and you deliver a great service and you show that things can be done differently, it's remarkable. I've seen it in 3 years. The amount of people have sent to me, many people have already come back to buy off me. People can't believe the simplicity of it and how much less hassle it takes out of the actual buying process. And them customers will be mine for life if I look after them, because I have no restrictions to what they can buy. I can source cars. I can.
The beauty of technology. We've just lost you, but sort of just going where you were. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
well, lost you.
yeah, we did. That's okay. But that's the beauty of the technology and going live, right? But
Yeah,
just sort of pick up on where you were, right? Because I want to look at it from two
yeah,
different perspectives, right? There is
absolutely.
the person who's at home, who's just lost their job, looking for a new opportunity. Developing and deploying this strategy allows them, as you said, to develop the customer for life. So if they look after the customer, then they're going to own that for life. So there's a huge advantage there, that
Exactly.
the long-term value of a customer that's really hard to quantify. But then the flip
Yeah,
side of it, from a dealership's perspective, using Facebook, it may be different people. That, often Facebook for car dealerships outsourced, and the person who manages it maybe doesn't have the sort of same connection. Is that what you've sort of
yeah. I
seen?
mean, no, absolutely. I mean, whenever as we were doing our sort of
Mystery
mystery
shopping?
shops or that sort of idea, um, I was finding it was people who weren't motor trade related, and it wasn't anything. When you asked a question, a product spec or a finance question, or they didn't have the information. And to be honest with you, the beauty of and why I feel it's been so successful for me is because people are asking me questions at 9 o'clock in the evening or at whatever, whenever suits them. And I'm able to come back to them straight away with an answer, an informative answer, telling them what they need to know there and then. Or if I can't, I'm coming back pretty quickly, with the answer. And it's connecting straight away where they feel, okay, this is the person I'm dealing with, and this is, the person I'm buying the car off. Whereas if you're speaking to a third, marketing department, it's completely different sort of feel of a question. You just become, scripted answers, and it's, trying to drive you into the showroom without actually qualifying your needs and what you're looking for. So it's, I feel that, if someone's able to put the effort and put the time in and really look after the customers, then you can build a customer base. And that, when I say that, obviously over 3,000 people, that's not 3,000 customers that have bought cars off me. It's 3,000 people that are following my page that in the future they'll see every car I post. And you know what it's like. Every family, every person changes their car every 3 to 4 years anyway. May not be looking for a car right this minute, but in a year's time, they're already like my page and they're going to see my stuff all the time. And actually, it puts me in mind. I got an inquiry this morning. Someone said to me, "Look, I've been seeing your pages for months and cars coming up for months. They always look great deals. Can you get me something and give me exactly what they're looking for?" You might not get that person right there, but if I was using the normal way of dealerships working, that customer would never have come back. Do you know what I mean? They would have to have
Yeah.
made an appointment with the dealership, come into the dealership, and go through the process. But without them realizing, we're getting little deals and things all put into their page, and that's how Facebook works, an algorithm. That's the whole the thing of it.
Yeah.
Um, but again, it's about building them customers up, and it's building them up at your own pace. It's taken me 3 years to get to there. Now, people with more money can get to there quicker, but it's just the beauty. And I think I probably went away a bit off track. So bring me back online,
No, 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 no.
Steve.
You're fine. You're fine because I think in essence what you're doing is you're sort of demonstrating the benefits of utilizing Facebook and sort of what you've
Absolutely.
learned and whether it's an education to dealerships to really think about what is their Facebook strategy. Is it going outside to a third party or is it bringing it in house and giving it to somebody who maybe is a social media manager who is only responsible for dealing with queries or customers from Facebook or
Yeah.
for the individual, then how can you compete with those big dealerships? And you've demonstrated well over time that you can compete. So what you've also mentioned sort of the fifth and final thing that we're going to look at today, and we'll
Yeah.
obviously dig into this further as we go through the weeks. But earn additional income straight away. How does Facebook allow you to do that traditional methods may not?
Yeah. I mean, I think whenever I sort of put that down is, whenever you're on Facebook and you post a car, if you're a sole trader, if you're a dealership, them inquiries, and if you're not using Facebook to the maximum or the way we use it as a selling tool, this is a brand new. If you want to look like a new salesperson just starting, without, you know, it's going to be someone who's creating at appointments. It's going to be someone who's selling your cars to X amount of people you boost and reach your post with, and it's engaging with customers straight away. So people who are in the market to buy cars straight away. I mean, whenever you have a salesman who starts in a showroom, a new start, he has to learn the product. He has to learn, the processes in the dealership. He has to go through the baby steps before he's allowed to go ahead and sell a car to somebody. And then once he sells a car, he has to speak to one of five people in a showroom to sell a car. So you needed five more people to come in through the door. And that's how, when you invest in a salesperson, that's how your mind operates. And that's your business sort of, and in a year's time, he's going to be up the par and selling what everybody else is selling. Or Facebook, straight away, by investing a little money now, you can really develop it and have people coming into your showroom straight away with a knowledge of your stock, a knowledge of the deal, maybe a finance already acceptance. And for the sole trader, for the person like myself, you've got customers interacting with you from day one. You're not going into used cars NI or Auto Trader or whatever the same thing for in America, and waiting for your phone to ring. Waiting for someone to pick up or send you an email inquiry, but straight away you have a post on just for one car, and it's reaching, and you can see how it's acting, how people are interacting with it, and you're seeing the people who are there, and straight away you can start earning money from it. You're not waiting for a long process of, waiting for the traditional ways of,
Right, right.
people, so,
Yeah,
and
no, no,
that was my point.
yeah, no, 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 it is the great model. The fact that you can absolutely target somebody, to your point, right? Facebook allows you to really pinpoint who is the buyer of this car, how do you evaluate the marketplace, what is the right price for your car, and allows you to really go after. and target
yeah.
that thing. So sort of go,
One more wee point. Sorry,
go on.
sorry,
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
forgot all about that. Whenever you're traditional way, so say for instance you had a car, when you try the traditional way and put it on Auto Trader and put it on Used Cars NI, there's you got to go in against every other dealership selling the same car as that. You got to be price point, picture right. Oh, it's in a field of maybe 15 cars, the same car. When you have Facebook, there's nobody else who's up against you. You see the car, they see it by itself, they see the angles, the pictures you took, they see the deal, they see the finance deal, and there's no one else anywhere near you because it's just Facebook. The next post is someone having a drink of something and a nice dinner. Do you know what I mean? It's not a
Right.
car.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, you know, from a traditional way, when you're when a sole trader, a dealership, wherever, when you put a car on, you're looking, right, where am I in the list? If I put this in, where do I come up? Am I
Mm-hmm.
at the top of the list? Is my price,
Right.
am I cutting my margin to stay
Right.
there? Or am I going straight in with full margin finance deal and no one else there to compete with me?
Yeah,
You know,
and sort
so
of
it's
finish that point. I mean, obviously, whenever you do publish it somewhere, be it trade magazine, be it somewhere on the internet, if you want your image to the top, you got to pay a premium price to advertise it,
absolutely,
put a
yeah,
red
yeah, got to
box
be the
around
cheap,
it, whatever it is, right? There's many
yeah,
things you got to
you got
do.
to be the cheapest, or you got to pay the money. It's
Right,
only two ways
right,
of, you know,
and
um,
and and no matter what price you put it at, you still got to haggle till there come after. Where
yeah,
this approach actually is, this does allow you to
yeah, and
whenever someone go on,
it only lists it by sale price, not by monthly payment. Do you
right,
know what I mean? You can't actually put you can only put a monthly payment in when actually you click into the car, click into the description and go to the bottom of the page. That's when you actually
mm-hmm.
see what it's worth. But what we're doing is we're putting boom in people's faces. It's £150 a month. It's £100 a month or dollars, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's so powerful. So powerful. I can't actually describe to you how powerful that is because when you're getting a finance customer, people understand they can afford it or they can afford it or they're actually getting engaged to find out what the price of the car is. So they're contacting you anyway.
right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a win-win.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's great. It's great, Gordy. So just to reel some of the things up, we know Facebook is great. We can target customers. We can get them specific, and the illustration you provided, where someone's watching somebody else eating their dinner, next thing this car pops up because Facebook's decided this person's looking for a car. I'm going to show this person this car in the radius
Yeah,
of which you've said sort of around your
absolutely.
business and where
Yeah,
you operate. Then they're actually receiving this is the price and it's the recognition. Oh, I can actually afford this car. I didn't think I could afford this car, or they're assessing if they can or they can afford. So if
absolutely.
they then want to approach you, then they're making the decision that I can afford this. This is in my price range. Probably they're less likely or less unlikely to sort of haggle. Not to say that people don't. Oh, everyone always asks for some sort of discount, and then they engage with you in a conversation. The conversation that they're prepared to ask you something that maybe they wouldn't be if you were in a dealership, and then allows you to communicate right back any time of day, be it morning, noon, or night,
Yeah, yeah,
and then you start that conversation. So absolutely, it's a great process and obviously a huge success. And obviously, Future Auto Solutions, what we're doing is we're offering a free audit where we can have a look at how your dealership is utilizing social media. We'll do a 15-minute call with you. We'll run through and give you ways to optimize your Facebook page, all free of charge. And then obviously, if you are a solopreneur or a sole trader, or you want to start and get into this, again, we'll give you a 15-minute call where we can run through with you on opportunities and things that we've learned, going a little bit deeper, where then we can actually help you set yourself up. And again, that's another free 15-minute service that we're offering at this time. So please reach out. The email to contact us is on the screen. Please remember to subscribe to it's over that way. The
that way.
subscription that way. Yeah. It's kind of backwards the way it comes up, but yeah. So please do subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more of this coming. We want to be very transparent in what we're doing. How you can, as a car dealership, or you as a sole trader, can actually start this type of business, can move forward and generate income right away. That's what we want to do at Future Auto Solutions. This is a big world. It's a big market, and there's thousands of people that want to buy cars. So there's enough love to go around. So we want to
Exactly.
share something, and we want to help other people do this, because not only is it good for the car industry, but it's also a lot better for the customer. The customer feels
Absolutely.
that they're in control the whole way, and whenever the customer feels that they are in control, they trust you more, and they will come back from repeat business. And through Facebook, you will own that customer, and they will do your selling for you, which is a key thing. All right, Gordy. So let's wrap it up there. Any last things you want to sort of share, or you think we're good for today?
No, I think I've talked enough today.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Look forward to next week and see how we go.
Great. All right, Matt. Well, we'll chat soon.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Take care.